You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Monday the 16th of June 2025 and you are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. And again, I slept really badly last night, and if I'm honest, when I woke up, so I went to bed at a sensible time. I actually thought I'd have an early night last night, but I managed to stay awake till about 10:30, which, given how badly I'd slept the night before, was quite impressive. But then I woke up when the sun came up again at it was before 4 o'clock, and I couldn't get back to sleep. And I tried listening to the radio. I listened to a bit of the thing I was talking about yesterday. Yesterday on my live stream, I was talking about this amazing, well, it's not amazing, but it's very good comedy show on BBC Radio 4 called It's a Fair Cop. And I'll quickly mention it on here because it fills up a couple of minutes. It's basically a comedy show presented by a sergeant from the police force. I think he's on a sabbatical away from the police force now, but he's genuinely had been, before he started doing this show, a real policeman in up north somewhere, Scunthorpe. He'd been a real copper for 20 years, and basically it's all about how he does his job and all the assumptions we make about what police can do and what police can't do. So I'll give you an example. There's, I think it's one of the very early episodes, and there have been 9, so they're currently transmitting the 9th series of this. I need to find out when it's on. It might even be on tonight, actually. It's a Fair Cop. Let's have a look. BBC Radio 4. No, 16th of June. 16th of June. It's on tonight, probably at 6:30, but I'm only guessing. Anyway, by the time people listen to this, it will all be on iPlayer. On BBC Sounds. But yeah, so he talks about his job and things that have happened, and then he says, right, so my options at this point were A, B, and C. Which should I do? And he gets the audience to reason why they make certain choices, and it's quite interesting because you quite often have police in the audience. And then he tells you what he actually did, and it keeps on going like that. And there's a really interesting one of the very early episodes, where somebody phoned up the police station to say there is a man who is very, very drunk. He's in a pub. His car is in the car park, and we think he's going to drive home. So it was somebody from the pub. I can't remember if it was a member of staff or somebody else in the pub. So again, the policeman, Alfie, his name is, goes to the pub, and he then said, right, so what should I do? Should I go and find him in the pub? Should I stand outside and watch and wait to see if he drives? And what was really interesting about that is it turns out he can't stand outside and watch, because that is classed as surveillance, and you have to have authority, you have to have permission to do surveillance. So he said what he basically decided to do was stand outside, but he couldn't stay in the same spot. So, because otherwise that would count as surveillance. So he had to walk very, very slowly around, keeping an eye on the car, but without staying in the same spot. And you do wonder why the police struggle to get stuff done with silly rules like that imposed upon them. But anyway, so that's just one example. It's a very funny show. He's got a really good sense of humour. It is comedy, as a live audience and people laughing. But I absolutely recommend it. I think it's the 9th series now being broadcast on BBC Radio 4. It looks like it's on a Monday night. I think it's the 4th episode going out on the 16th. But all of the old episodes are available on BBC Sounds. Definitely worth having a listen. Anyway, so I was trying to listen to that whilst I was trying to sleep. And when I did eventually get up about 10:30, because I did manage to get a bit of a doze later, I was absolutely convinced that, well, there's no way I'm going to get any writing done today, because I'm too tired. And then once again, I got bloody minded, because I really, really want to get this thing signed off. I'm enjoying doing it. Even in the chapter that I've reviewed. So I signed off chapter 29 today, which is brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant that I did it. I'm not saying the chapter is brilliant, but I am pleased with it. And then I actually read through on the live stream just now, chapter 30, which is the final one I want to sign off this month. Now, it isn't signed off. I need that was basically my first screen read through. I will make sure it's on my iPad, and then tomorrow when I'm at work during the 14-hour flight or whatever it is that I've got, there will be a point where customers will all be asleep and I'll be on duty. So, you have to kill time. There are certain things you have to do, but you do have a moment to read a book or a newspaper or do a crossword. And what I'll probably do is have another look at chapter 30, and then I'll try and get it signed off in the next couple of days in Singapore. And that will leave me where I need to be in terms of the target I've set myself for this month, which is awesome. I'm really, really pleased about that. And I'm not going to be able to get because the other thing I need to do this month is I need to do two things. I need to send off the English Hikikomori to some other potential agents, and I need to prepare the package to send off Still Life. I will not attempt to do those whilst I'm en route. I've got 5 days after I get back till the end of the month. I will try and do that work then. So it might mean that I start work on chapter 31, maybe even beyond that, whilst I'm away on my Singapore and Sydney trip. So yeah, again, very productive day today, especially considering how tired I am. I've worked out, basically, after chapter 29, I've only got 14 chapters left to sign off. I mean, I'm so thrilled with that. Really pleased. Anyway, that's me for the day. I'll be back tomorrow, before I leave, obviously, and then hopefully the day after that, all things being well, I have said that before, I will talk to you from Singapore. Anyway, take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.